Not sure how many days in a row this is. A lot. A lot for you guys, I'm sure. You're like, is this guy ever going to shut up and give us a break? Um, Eventually. Everything has its moment. Um, when I find that I enjoy something, um, I do it as often as I can. No particular reason. It's just, I'm giving into the joy. Simple as that. So this morning, I wrote in my blog, as always, another thing I do every day. Basically, anything that I talk about, I do every day. I do yoga every day. I meditate every day. I do breath work every day. I eat right every day. I walk before sunrise every day. I walk again in the afternoon. I walk or run. I do burpees or something. Um, Not that I'm stuck at all. It seems that way by description. If I say this is what I do every day, you're like, wow, what a rut that you must be stuck in. Um, However, it all of it, every last bit of it, still feels spontaneous. It is a thing that arises at a certain time that I give myself to. It's as simple as that. That it's the spontaneous spontaneous arisal, however we want to say it, um, however's easiest for me to say, of things that I enjoy. Now, of course, sometimes there's spontaneous arisal of things I don't enjoy. That's called life. Some things we enjoy, some things we don't. We do what we do regardless. I'm trying to find the best possible angle. I don't think I have a good angle. Um, so anyway, I was writing in my blog again. I do every day. Um, this morning I talked about another thing I do every day, which is my early morning walks. Haven't gotten around to actually reading from my blog um, for quite some time. Maybe I should start with that. Get it out of the way, and then we'll see where it leads to. So, my early morning walks. Quite often, I've written of my early morning walks, the health benefits of getting first light directly to the eyes, and the chemical reaction that occurs within the body. My preparation for a good night's sleep begin from the moment I arise. Breathwork and meditation, yoga, and then out the door to catch those very first rays of morning light. There are a host of other reasons, to greet the dawn, and adding motion to the moment and walking for even 20 minutes enhances our health immeasurably, physically as well as mentally. It's also good for the soul, purifying, brings us close to the cycle of local nature. For me, I love being out before first light, making myself available for the sun to easily reach me. Walking is an adventure at this hour. I am between worlds, suspended between last moments of night and fast arriving dawn. There are nocturnal animals still in the last moments of their hunt, stalking smaller creatures, a quick raid into neighborhood gardens, hopeful of an easy meal. Other animals are just beginning to stir, songbirds preparing for the dawn chorus, deer rising from their tall grass bed and making their way to the nearby stream for waters. Hello, Gregory. I'm spending, I'm sorry, the J. Jordan. How are you? I'm reading a bit from my blog, actually. And I find myself in the midst of it, a participant through walking and my watchfulness, longing to this thin strip of time between two worlds. My early morning walks are sacred, truly holy, and I guard them with privacy, seeking seclusion, doing my best to avoid others who dare to wake and get outdoors before sunrise. There are a few, mostly runners in a hurry, and I watch them almost always miss the signs of life in their surroundings, oblivious to all but the most obvious points of nature. There's no blame here. I'm not finding fault, as I've been similar in the past, consumed with motion for the sake of what's measured, and missing the subtle aspects of what's most truly offers. I have no wish to return to this point in time. My early morning walks are something else entirely, reserved for the holiness that's found, giving myself completely to silence and whatever soft sounds are emerging at these hours. There's no goal here, nothing to do but enjoy the motion of my body, allowing a natural rhythm that's attuned to my surroundings. It's not exercise, although I'm walking swiftly. My heart benefits, health improved. What I'm doing is a soul walk, though, healing, participating in the sunrise by making myself available to first light. My early morning walks are entirely for the soul. So that's why I get up before dawn. Lately, I'm up about 3:50-ish, 3:55 in the morning. I take care of bathroom needs. I do my breath work. I do the breath of fire, which is it's considered a coffee breathing technique, meaning it's energizing, helps me focus. We could say that it actually rises that cellular energy infused by the soul, rises the Kundalini energy. And then I sit for meditation, usually about 30 minutes or so. The J. Jordan, I appreciate the fact that you liked and shared me out. It means a lot. Your support has really been invaluable. So thank you. I appreciate that. I've really enjoyed the July workouts that you put out. I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to do for August. Another long month, 31 days coming up. So as soon as I meditate, I get ready to do my morning yoga. Short routine, 15 minutes as my water is boiling for my 1 cup of coffee a day. I drink my coffee, I write every day. Never miss a day of writing. I never miss a day of anything, honestly. And then before the sun comes up, I'm outside. I want to get that morning light hitting my eyes directly. I'm not staring into the sun. I'm not doing anything special. I just want that morning light because it causes a hormonal chemical reaction. Your body produces, as soon as that light, natural light, has to be sunlight. As soon as that light hits the eyes, your body starts to produce cortisol and ephedrine, I might be saying that wrong, for energy. These are important hormones for the body. So often we think of cortisol as being bad for the body. It's the stress hormone. But of course, we need it. We need a little bit of stress in our lives. We don't want to be consumed by stress, but we need that little bit. Everything grows by stress. Mountain ranges, continents divided. The world became because of a small amount of stress. A piece of sand lodged in an oyster is stressful to the oyster, and it's rubbing it until it becomes a pearl. A chunk of coal under great stress, and we get a diamond. That's what we are. Little bit of stress, well handled, meaning that we have to learn to handle our stress, to not give into it, to treat it as a naturally occurring situation in our life that is there to benefit us if we allow it. If we let it consume us, if we enter that fight or flight stage, then we're becoming reactive. We're no longer responsive. We could say we're no longer responsible for what happens. And that's a key word. I love that word, responsibility. Coming from me, the world's most irresponsible person, it's kind of funny. But responsibility means your ability to respond. Responsibility. Big difference. Fight or flight means we're instantly ready to react. These days, it's most often fight. We don't flee. There's no reason to flee. There's no place to flee. We're trapped in our cars. We're trapped in line. We're trapped in society. What can we flee? So we react. We fight. We fight the other side, whatever we think the other side is. More often, we fight ourselves, believing that we are the enemy. I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't think this way. I shouldn't act this way. That's reactive. We could be responsive easily. We do some breath work. We meditate. We spend time in nature. All of these things are part of a yogic philosophy. They're part of the ancient Vedic philosophy. 4,000-year-old advice passed down. How do we become successful in life? We become responsive, not reactive. Now, we could say some of the most successful people we know in life are blowhards, reactive, newscasters in the media who are doing nothing but being reactive, pushing our buttons, pushing somebody's buttons. That's not success. That's making money. Big difference. You want to be successful in life, it means that you're responsive, you're caring, you're loving, you practice kindness. That kind of success doesn't leave. It's independent of any situation in life. Abraham Maslow, the famous psychologist, his view of a self-actualizing person, which means a person of success, of the greatest success, because you've transcended every other level to that pinnacle of life. A self-actualized person is independent of the good opinion of others. It means you stand in your own self-worth. You're kind, you're caring, not because you have to be, because that's who you are. You've reached that point where all you have to give away is love, it's kindness, unconditional. Hafiz, the poet, I believe he was the Persian poet, said, liken it to the sun, not choosing. I should look up the actual quote. Not choosing who we shine upon, not loving a particular flower over another, not picking a particular tree branch. A Native American proverb that no tree is foolish enough to have branches that would fight amongst itself. Are we not any wiser than a tree? Amazing, it doesn't seem so. But we could be, because we are every much part of nature in the same way the sun is the same way the tree is, the same way the flower is. Jesus compared us, lilies in the field. See how they toil? I'm paraphrasing. I'm not going to get my biblical quotes 100%. But hi, Mocha. Mocha, if you have a chance on YouTube, and I should send it to you, check out the Jay Jordan, because I know your love of music, not just your love of music, but your love of artists, particularly hip-hop artists. And I think that you would very much appreciate what the Jay Jordan does. As well, he's a fellow veteran. The Jay Mocha is a Air Force veteran, 23 plus years in, and I believe you were in the Army. And of course, you both have an appreciation for music. I remember you had said that you were going to check him out. The Jay, it's actually my pleasure to offer you kind words, because not for the fact that you just give so much to the community, but what you do, but because you show up. I see you practicing on the keyboard. I see you practicing the guitar. I see you putting out quality music day in, day out. In my esteem, and Mocha can vouch for this, no one rises higher than an artist, someone who's committed to their art. And I see that in you. I see it constantly. So my respect and my admiration. Just thank you. So Milka says that my twin sister was in the Army, as well as my younger brother. My father served in the Army and Air Force, and mother was in the Air Force. Yes, Milka has a um, family history of service that she continued proudly, above and beyond the call of duty, in my opinion. And it's a high call and a high duty. So saying someone gives everything, um, that says something right there. So being of service, being responsible, being kind, it's all the same thing. Because when you reach that level of kindness, reflective of who we truly are, you have nothing to give away but love. When you take an orange and squeeze it, all you get is orange stuff. I could say orange juice, but you get pulp, you get sticky stuff, you get seeds, but all of it is orange stuff. Same with a lemon. You squeeze a lemon, you get lemon stuff. Pressure, stress, all the stuff in life that squeezes us, what did we give forth? What did we give out? When all we have is love, and ultimately love is who we are, but we need to remember it. We need to get there again. When all we have is love, when life squeezes us, only love comes forth. It's all we have to give. It's a lot been on my mind. Society, not in judgment. We all do exactly what we need to do in the situation we find ourselves in. But man, right now I'm off the treadmill. I'm an outlier. I'm a little bit past that line of living in that repetitive hamster wheel of chasing after promotions, chasing after anything. I'm working not 100% successfully, but I'm working, writing my blog. I teach meditation. I teach breath work. I do a little bit of personal training. Some money saved up, inherited. I have a house. I'm going to do everything possible to not get back on that hamster wheel, that treadmill, to get back on that chasing after things that just simply don't matter to me, to make enough money to pay my bills, some money left over to buy a book, to keep me in a supply of bananas and lentils and rice. 3 basics of my diet. Some greens, apples, stuff like that. And I'm good. Absolutely good. I don't need to chase anything anymore. What's important comes to me, or I don't need it. It's not always easy for me to remember that. I get the urge to chase things, make life a little bit easier, what I think it would be easier. But it isn't easier. When I took my sunrise walk, pre-sunrise, it was before dawn, a good 15, 20 minutes before the first light appeared. There was already people speeding by me. There was already someone waiting for the bus, looking completely miserable. And it dawned on me that it was Monday morning, and I didn't even realize it was Monday morning, because I'm so far removed from that daily grind. Sometimes we need to be in the daily grind. Again, this isn't judgment. This isn't saying you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't have that job, you shouldn't pursue whatever. Do what you need to do what you're called to do. But also realize at a certain point in life, you put that stuff aside. In yoga culture in India, the time of my life, I'm in my 50s, we put things aside and it becomes a spiritual pursuit. For me, for whatever reason, my entire life seemed to be a spiritual pursuit. Recently, I'd say possibly it's been growing. I was going to say possibly 10 years, but that's when it hit me. It no longer has to be a spiritual pursuit, because everything I need is directly here. I don't need to chase spirituality. I don't need to chase awakening. I don't need to chase enlightenment. It's all here. Realized. Awakening is a spark. and then it just expands. So my friend Robert Saltzman, who wrote the 10,000 Things, said that awakening never ends. It just grows. Little spark of awareness becomes a fire. Little spark of knowing becomes all-pervading intelligence. I am part of the fabric of intelligence that is this universe, and guess what? So are you. Not even separate by a slim sliver of whatever slim slivers come from. Absolutely amazing knowing what you are, and then seeing somebody at a bus stop looking completely miserable. Who knows though? Can't judge the universe. Aline Beatty wrote a book on reincarnation years ago. She died and was resurrected and came back, and she had this knowingness about her. And she said when she died, she met someone who had appeared in her life at an earlier stage as a street person with a cup asking for money. He said he incarnated this particular lifetime in order to provide her an opportunity to do a single act of kindness, which she did. You don't have to believe that. I don't know if I believe it. I don't care if it's true or if it's not true. I like the thought. Because we all have those moments to be kind. We all have those moments to give. And it's nice when we choose to do so. It doesn't have to be something big. How often you just give a smile for no reason other than the concept, the Vedic concept of namaste. The light within me, the divine light within me, salutes the divine light within you. There's the gift. Remember, the more you give, the more you have. The more you have to give. You want to manifest something in your life? Give things away. Create some space. Einstein said, nothing happens until something moves. Get something moving. Put something in motion. That's why I show up to write every morning. Empty page right in front of me. Something's moving. Opening myself to inspiration. I don't have to know what to write because words are going to find me right here at my desk. Keyboards out. Fingers ready. Open. Universe is going to reach down right through my top chakra and fill me with everything that I need to say as it is right now. All pressure's off. I don't have writer's block. I have a pause, a moment where I sit in silence and wait, abide. The dude abides. That's me. Just sit here. Why chase words when they're going to find me? The words that I chase and I grab and I put on the screen are never as good as the words that come to me. Never. So I look for ways to stay off that treadmill. Who knows? Who knows if I can do it? I hope to. I like my life. I like the opportunities it presents. And it's not the opportunity of job and career. It's the opportunity of spirit. That I get outside in nature every morning, trying to get out there before anyone else does. Sometimes I make it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes there's somebody else out there with an agenda. They need to get their run in. They need to get their walk in. They need to. Good for them. You're doing what's important for you first thing in the morning. Great job. I still want to beat you out there because I am very guarded of the privacy that I have when I'm in the woods on the bike path, exploring what nature is offering me this morning, and it's never the same. Milka says, you'll find a way, and I appreciate that. I hope so. And the fact that you have given me unconditional support means everything. Provides me with the idea of success that I already have. So I hate getting emotional on camera. Of course, I've only had an online presence for a little bit, and I'm always emotional on camera. I still don't like it though. So I guess I've had a theme here, what I'm talking about, but it seems to have been all over the place. Talking about kindness, talking about walking, talking about nature, manifesting, yoga, not having a job. Not having a job, but I'm not unemployed. I have a vocation. I have a calling. I have words that come to me every day that I write and I share. I have decades of meditation experience. I've had the certification to qualify me to teach meditation and breath work. I have a desire to help other people find themselves. So weird that we have to find ourselves, find our true selves, because it seems to be, it should be implicit. It should be the first thing that we're taught. But it isn't. Not only that, it's the first thing that we lose. 2 or 3 years old and we become a self. We're selfing. Not a bad thing because we need it to navigate the world. But we shouldn't also realize that our true self is no self at all. It is. It's beingness. It's beyond a self. It is the capacity for a self to appear. Emptiness. Is everyone ready for the daily quote of the Heart Sutra that emptiness is form, form is emptiness? I say this every single day, if only to myself. I think I say it to the YouTube people as well every day. Emptiness is form, form is emptiness. It's not two things. Emptiness doesn't become form. Form doesn't regress back to emptiness. It's one thing constantly in flux of another, in the appearance of another. You hear me pounding on my desk to make a point, emphasizing. The desk is 99.99% empty space, tightly gathered nothingness. Particles dancing together to make atoms, to make molecules, to make cells, to make this desk. And yet, the space between atoms is vaster in comparison than the universe itself. The space between particles within that atom, vaster still. Emptiness, but also a desk. We live amidst miracles. I was looking for a good reason to say amidst. I love that word. We live amidst the miracles, and we truly do. That I have a desk. What an amazing fact. A desk. It sounds weird. People tune in and it's like, why is this guy going crazy about his desk? It's not even that good of a desk. I've had it for a long time now. First computer desk I ever had. Here it is. What's amazing is that the desk is 100% emptiness, and yet it's the capacity for a desk to be. Same with my computer. Same with this camera. Same with me, and the same with you. You have the capacity for a self to appear, and yet you're not exclusively a self. That will never cease to be a miracle. That will never cease to amaze me. Does it help when I'm down on myself, when I'm depressed, which happens on occasion? Not depressed as much as a depression itself, I should say. I don't want to make it seem like a mood, as it's not. It's just something that happens, something that appears. And you know what? It does help. It doesn't lessen the depression, but it reminds me that I'm living with miracles right now, and that depression itself doesn't last. It won't last. It'll come, it'll go. I am the capacity that allows all things to appear, and I am the capacity for all things to leave. Emptiness. Constantly becoming, constantly letting go. Buddhists call it blue sky mind. Sky is always blue. Not really. Sky is actually without color. However, the emptiness of the sky allows for the color of blue to appear. It allows for clouds, for airplanes to pass, for tree branches, for birds to fly. That's the nature of the mind. That's who we are. It's what we are. So, I've been talking about 31 minutes. And I think for today, we'll end it right about here. It's been a good talk for me. It's been good for my soul. Getting things out. Putting out ideas. Thinking. So, what more to say? Once you hit that point where you've talked about miracles, let it go. Let the miracle happen. Let life be exactly what life is. Smile to the camera and say goodbye. Thanks for joining me, guys. Have a good day.